You're listening to Weird and Dead, the paleontology podcast that tells evolution's most embarrassing and bizarre stories. I'm Megan Wetherell.
And I'm Amy Atwater, and we are two living scientists who are weirdly excited about dead things.
Get prepared to gag and gag and gag as Amy gleefully describes bird milk consistency, and we mull over the likelihood of lactating dinosaurs.
Some of which were pink, by the way, fully convinced.
And then she implicates me in a crime that we definitely did not commit.
Or maybe we did.
Or maybe you just got experience with crops for other reasons, you creep.
Like always, our podcast is disgusting. If you think mammal milk or vomit or both are gross in any way, this just might not be the episode for you.
It sure as shit was not the episode for me.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Milk me, mama.
Every time you say that, I'm like a wagon wheel. Milk me, mama. Okay, that's disgusting.
This is a good start. So obviously, guys, we're talking about milk to some definition of milk.
Kind of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of depends on how you define milk. Which is a great, actually, yeah, that could be even a great start. Like, you know, what is milk? It's not even across mammals, like, the same. And all mammals produce milk of some type, but very weird and different. Like, the monotremes, like platypus and echidna, don't have nipples. They just kind of secrete milk. And I guess it's just like...
From milky patches. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you are already, you've dabbled. You've
Yep.
dipped a toe into
Sure
the monotreme milk.
Yep.
But I hadn't thought ever, because I don't think until it's in front of me, about other animals having milk besides mammals, because we think of it as so definitive. And then last week I was walking the ridge with a friend, and we were talking about something about like female stuff and like, oh, yeah, we don't get as much studies on female anatomy. And my friend was like, oh, yeah, I know, like crop milk. And I was like, what? Crop milk? Kind of like when I said it to you earlier this week, I immediately kind of had a vague idea of what it must entail, but had never heard of it or anything like that. So today we're going to be talking about crop milk, which is essentially bird lactation in a way. Talking about how it's similar. Like your face is going to be so great. We're going to talk about similarities and differences to mammals. We're going to be talking about the birds that do this. We're going to be talking about some phylogenetic implications and some deep time implications. And the paper I found that was literally titled, what is it? Scroll up. Is it just, yes, I love it. I love a title of a scientific paper that ends in a question mark. I'm just really like,
oh yeah.
This one is quite simple. It is just dinosaur lactation.
Which would also be a great band name. Yeah.
It'd be great. Okay, so let's dive on into this crop.
Yep.
Which, again, I was familiar with the crop of birds, which is a part of the digestive tract, right? That is like at the base of the throat, essentially. It's for food storage before it hits the tum-tum for digestion. It's just like an enlarged kind of pouch in the esophagus. It's a pocket.
Yeah.
It's a crop pocket. I wanted to wear a crop top today, but it's actively snowing outside, so I am cold and I'm wearing alpaca wool instead. So... but underneath, I wish I was wearing a crop top for this crop milk. And as I was reading about crops, I was like, oh, yeah. Do you know where I'm going to go with this?
Oh, I don't.
Do you remember that time?
I don't, yes, but I'm really worried.
Do you remember that time?
No, and I'm hoping that I just forgot it with the concussion. But
no, you didn't. No. It was that time that we were in a place and driving to go camping, and you were driving my car. You know where I'm going now.
Yeah, I do. You're about to admit to a crime, by the way.
We didn't do a crime.
We did a crime.
I'm not going to say where we were.
Oh, right.
Is it a crime?
Yeah, it's a crime.
I mean, well, I'm not saying where we were.
Okay, well, I guess it's true. It's not a crime in some spots.
Are you kidding me? My stepmom is known in Eugene to like be the person if someone hits a turkey with their car. They like text her and she goes and like harvests the turkey.
0% of me wants to be compared to your stepmom.
That's a good call, man.
There's
excellent
no beneficial aspect of that.
Well, I'll keep this like speculative. So we were maybe driving a maybe car. Maybe it was a boat. And we maybe, while you were driving, had a pheasant that maybe just jumped from the side of the road into us. Yeah. It was not our fault. Yeah. We were there first. And it maybe died. And I maybe said, turn around.
And I was so confused. Like, it's dead,
maybe
Amy.
Put it in the back.
I really tapped that. Like, we don't need to go back for a double tap. I got it. I didn't mean to, but I got it.
And I was like, I'm going to take that bird. I want that bird. I mean, I maybe put it in the back of my car. Yeah. And we maybe took it to that campground and we maybe dissected it and ate it that night.
Now, let's say that happened. Let's just say that maybe we did this.
Hypothetically.
Now, being a person who owns sheep that we sometimes do butcher, I now understand why maybe that would have resulted in us eating rubber as opposed to
it was not good.
Flesh. Theoretically, it was really bad. And it's rigor mortis. We didn't allow it to sit.
We were too eager.
You got to wait a while.
With the tendons and making the feet like making the feet. And as we were dissecting it, we opened its crop, and it had a bunch of fresh grass and little rocks in it. Mm-hmm. And it was like green, fresh grass that it had a wonderful last meal. It had.
This is like the elk that was full of grapes on Logan's parents' face.
Hey, it made maybe they were fermented. Well, maybe that elk was fucking drunk.
That's why they got the nuisance tag to take care of the elks, is because they would go for the vineyards. So yeah,
right. An elk is
grapes spilling
delicious. I mean, it's just there. So yeah, was my only firsthand experience with a bird crop.
Okay,
was that thing that maybe happened to us that one time. Over a decade ago, a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know where we were.
Yeah, anyway, what's the statute of limitations on that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe it wasn't a pheasant. Maybe it was our chicken we had with us at X. I don't know. Anyway, so the crop is where all this food kind of sits while it waits to be digested. And it processes down through it. And crop milk is exactly what you think it is. It is throat milk. It is, instead of nipple milk, it is making milk in your throat pocket. So they make it in their little throat pocket and then they puke it into their babies' mouths.
Okay, so it does involve puke, but fortunately in less of a direct substance way than I was worried about. I was worried that crop milk was just ornithologists really trying to repitch the idea of puke being fed to baby birds, that it was repackaged for a PR thing. But
I see. The whole Got Milk campaign. Right.
Yeah.
This is ornithologists being like, no, crop milk. It's not creepy sardine soup. Okay. So it is a secretion from the lining of the crop that generates there. And we'll talk a little bit about the organic chemistry of all that, which was the only time I've cared. It's pretty rare. It's only documented currently in 3 different groups of birds. Pigeons do it, flamingos do it, and emperor penguins do it. Now, the question I saw a lot is it milk?
Yeah. What is the defining characteristic of milk? What makes milk milk?
Yeah, that's a great question. I went to a talk once in graduate school from a woman who studied milk in primates, and it became quite apparent that, a lot of things, it's not very well studied. But in the most cases, human milk is composed of fat, protein, and some carbohydrates, which is usually a lactose, a sugar, right? Something like that. Cow milk is quite similar. Camel milk is pretty similar. But there are types of mammals that have almost none of the carbohydrate in there, and some some that have like marine mammals have like shit tons. Like I think it was like, yeah, like hooded seals or something like that have like crazy amounts of fat in theirs, and their young are able to gain like 40 pounds in a week off of this milk. Like super, super saturated with fat. I think it was like donkey milk has like has very little carbohydrates in it. And so that's kind of the thing with crop milk is it has both fat and protein like mammals, but no carbohydrates. So it's totally keto approved. All birds are into the keto diet, apparently. Now milk is, you'll see some pictures. So you can determine if you think that texture would define milk versus, I don't know, cheese. But, okay, it's so for mammals, including myself, I didn't happily lactate. Ugh.
You lactated.
But
it happened.
I did it.
We were
lactated.
there.
It happened. Oh God, I was there. I wish I was not there. Oh my God. So it's like, I think there's a common misconception that when you give birth, you can like instantly like full stream ahead. That is not the case. It usually takes a couple of days for your milk to fully come in. It's okay because your baby has a really small tum-tum. So even a few drops here and there can like be okay while your milk comes in. I also use donor milk during that time as well. And then, oh my God, like your boobs get bigger throughout all of pregnancy, but holy shit, a couple days after I gave birth, anyway, and all of that was controlled with prolactin.
Okay.
And that's a hormone. It's pretty common. It's exactly what is triggering your ungulates to also produce milk. Cows are one of the few other species that have more breast tissue and have like visible boobies, kind of like us. Yeah. That's also not that common. But the difference is okay, so we've like got some like ingredient differences, and then but the hormone is the same. The basic makeup is essentially the same. And it's all by these glands, exocrine glands, right? So that these are different ways that your glands are secreting substances onto different surfaces through a bunch of different ducts. So this isn't just milk. We're talking sweat, spit, tears, prostate, like all sorts of really fun stuff. Just the whole prostate.
Sweat, tears, prostate.
I don't know.
You know how I
gland?
secrete prostate. Yeah, it's just another secretion. No big deal.
So crop milk is a holocrine based, like that's how it is formed. So it's a different mechanism.
Okay.
While the stimulant is the same with prolactin, the actual mechanism that the body goes through to produce the milk is different. Crop milk is holocrine. So essentially what I learned from this is like you have your little cells, right, that are producing this secretion. And there's a couple different ways to let go of the secretion and release it into the gland and the duct or whatnot. And with exocrine ones, it is where they kind of burst and erupt.
There's some hand gestures, by the way. We're not filming anymore because our internets are too bad, but I do want you all to know that this is being acted out and that is making it worse. It is a worse experience overall.
You're welcome. You are so welcome. So, yes, it is released by the rupture of the plasma membrane, which destroys the cell, and then results in the secretion of the product being released into the tube. So I equate this to zit popping. So it's like
great. Yeah.
And it is
helpful. Yeah. Better. Yeah, you're right. That's a good analogy that is super fun for everyone.
So just imagine your throat pocket is lined with zits.
I hate this.
Yeah. So mammals do apocrine system instead, where instead of the cells, the secretory cells actually bursting and rupturing, they create, I mean, this paper literally was like blebs. And I was like, blebs. So it kind of buds off of the cell and creates that, like its own little blob that then is created. So that's how human milk, that's how mammal milk works.
Okay.
It's more like a lava lamp, in my opinion. You know, lava lamp, bubbles up and like sploop, like it loses the top of it.
Okay.
And so one article was interesting because they were pointing out that the holocron style actually does destroy those cells by rupturing, and it is a greater impact on the parental energy investment.
Yeah.
It's like more of a negative for them.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
More just, yeah, it's not, it's you're popping a bunch of zits in your throat to make milk for your babies.
Throat zits for your babies sounds bad. Yep.
Yeah, but it works. It works. It gets the job done.
Okay.
You're not a pigeon. You don't know. You weren't there. If you want to scroll to your first picture, I don't think it's that bad. This is just the picture of the crop in a pigeon, which is relevant because the first animal we are going to talk about that does crop milk is the pigeon.
Okay.
Pigeon milk is quite well known.
Wow, they have
keep scrolling
really illustrated the butthole on this. Like that is deeply emphasized.
I knew you were gonna notice that right away. I knew you were. I was like, my girl, she's got me. She's rectum.
What's with the armpit glands that it's got going on here?
Pectoralis major muscle cut across. Oh, those are just its pec muscles.
Yeah, this is an image of like a cross-sectioned like drawing of a chicken that has been tilted very explicitly and specifically to show you the cloaca. Like the cloaca is really they didn't have to they contorted this animal's body in order to make. It's kind of like those superhero posters, you know, where the woman has to contort her body to show her tits and her ass at the same time. Like we're getting full crop and cloak.
Yeah, those are both very prominent. So is the trachea. Trachea, I remember that about that time we maybe dissected that wild maybe bird. It was that trachea. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking wild. This is wild. So pigeons / doves, right? Pigeons are doves. They're the same fucking thing. Mm-hmm. They have babies called squabs, which is cute. Is it like, what is the game that has like a pigeon that people play? Is it Animal Crossing? And they're like, would you like pigeon milk? I don't know. I don't do games.
I don't know.
I don't do that.
But I don't do that game. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, they often pigeon milk. And I was like, yeah. So baby pigeons are cute and they're hatched at an undeveloped state.
So they're not
cute.
They're not cute.
Well,
they're little
babies.
Flayed creatures with no feathers and giant eyes that are agree to disagree. Hard disagree.
I think you're going to disagree a lot here, so it's all good.
I'm prepped for it.
It's all good. So they are pretty underdeveloped, I guess, when they are first born, so they're not able to eat the solid food or like garbage that pigeons eat. So, but they grow like crazy in the first couple of days of their lives, and that's because they're eating crop milk. Like their parents, which both males and female pigeons can produce crop milk. Most of our scenarios today, both the males and females can do it, which is another differences from mammals. Males do not typically lactate. They technically have all of the equipment, all of the stuff. Mm-hmm. It has happened in human males. It's documented. It's not very common. I think I really freaked out my friend's husband after she gave birth. And he was like, well, I can't help with that. And I was like, well, technically, it can happen too if like, I think the documented cases are really, really old, but like a mom who dies and the baby, like the baby crying and stuff like helps stimulate a male to lactate, which is very fascinating. But in a lot of these birds, both of them can do it. And in the penguins that we talk about, it's only the males that do it. Oh. So with pigeons, they're only doing this for like the first couple of days or the first week or so. It's not very long. Yeah. One paper described it as white, slimy, caseous material. I found a picture of it online.
I know what caseous means, and I don't like that at all.
Actually, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure that just means cheesy.
Yeah, most of the places describe its consistency as cottage cheese.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you want to go ahead, I'm so sorry. This is the worst part.
Okay.
Image page.
No. Okay, and I'm going to just keep going. I am not... Okay. It looks like what someone has done here. This is horrible. I hate you for this. I'm going to have nightmares about this. It looks like someone took like 2 patties of ground beef and then puked on them. And then they put it next to a ruler. That's what we're looking at. That is, oh my God, okay. I thought they said it was white.
So, an image?
That is absolutely not white. That is a lie.
That paper arguably was from like the 1930s, so I don't know.
They knew what colors were. It wasn't actually black and white. Like, those are just the movies.
I'm dying. Okay, well, I'm going to walk you through it. So the first image, so these are all like dissected bits of pigeon. The first one, A, there's 4 images here. A is a crop during the non-breeding season. So we just got an empty throat pouch.
Okay.
It just looks gross, like a little sack of flesh. And then the second, B through D, is all crop during the lactation period. So, I mean, yeah, it's filled with a, kind of chunky, yellowy, grainy.
If you've seen The Last of Us, it looks like the mushroom coming out of people's heads. I know you haven't. That was for the audience.
I know. I know. I know. I love
I'm doing an episode on mushrooms just to gross you out. That's what we're going to do next.
Fair.
Yeah.
I deserve that.
Yeah.
I deserve that. I'm a little friendlier with them now because I found ways to enjoy them. So this paper, Megan, is like, I was like, wow, there's a lot of studies on pigeon crop milk. That's weird. Yeah, it's because there are a lot of countries in the world where pigeons are an important commercial poultry and they eat a shit ton of pigeons, and they needed to understand like how to make a synthetic pigeon milk so that they can make their squabs grow as fast and as big as possible.
Oh, okay.
And that's why there has been so much research on it. And as you can see at the bottom part of this page is an actual bag of pigeon crop milk, like synthetic mix that you could buy if you found like an abandoned baby pigeon squab and you felt so you were so, you were a loving person. You could buy this and you could feed them synthetic pigeon crop. And if you wanted to, make it realistic, you could like chew it up and spit it.
I don't. Nope, I don't. I will say that being able to finally scroll down and see that this is milk replacer for chicken, or not for chickens, for pigeons. I keep calling them chickens. That looks like a chicken. That's so much better than what I thought it was, which is I thought you were saying that people needed to be able to synthesize it to eat it, that they were eating pigeon cheese and that pigeon cheese was like an important component of many cultures. And I didn't want to make that sound when we're talking about other cultures, but fuck me, I'm glad that's not the case.
Oh, that's hilarious, because the eating of pigeons was actually news to me, and that was my own ignorance as well. And I went through my own feelings about, which is stupid. I eat chicken all the time.
We used to eat pigeons all the time in America. We ate the passenger pigeon to extinction.
Oh, well, it must taste great then.
Exactly.
It's not my fault that they taste delicious. Look at the thing they're raised on. Look how nutritious and delicious that is.
Well, probably nutritious. I don't know about anything else. I don't want to. I'm going to keep scrolling. Oh my God, that's not the worst.
Well, don't scroll yet. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We're moving on to the next bird. Want more weird and dead content and you don't want to wait? Or maybe you don't want to hear ads like this? Head on over to our Patreon for exclusive content, early ad-free episodes, and so much more. For only $5 a month, you too can hear our outtakes, exclusive episodes, and the stuff we cut for time, and also just because it was too much for the general public.
Are you looking for the best possible dinosaur or fossil-related book for a kid in your life? Amy wrote one. It's got these amazing touchable illustrations, and while it is completely child-friendly, some of our favorite not-so-appropriate animals are hidden throughout. Get your copy of The Fossil Keeper's Treasure today, wherever you buy books.
So flamingos.
I could see the heading. Fuck. Okay.
Okay, so flamingos are also another bird that produce crop milk that feed their young for up to about the first 6 months of their lives. Both males and females do it. Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and scroll. You can go see what it looks like in flamingos.
Oh. Is that the traditional feeding mechanism where one pukes it onto another one's head, or
apparently? Just go ahead and click on the link. Let's watch the YouTube. It's only like 40 seconds.
And for context, what I'm currently looking at is 2 penguins and a penguin chick Or not penguins. Oh
no,
my
they're
God.
flamingos. These are flamingos.
I am currently looking at 2 pink, that's the word I was looking for, pink birds, flamingos, feeding their chick. Except the way that they're feeding their chick is that the top flamingo appears to have puked red crop milk, which Amy has titled Flamingo Crop Milk Strawberry Flavored. And that milk is dripping down across the eye, but it makes it look like the top flamingo has brained the bottom flamingo to feed their young. So, okay, now I can go click on this.
Yeah, it's like a waterfall effect. Like they're like, instead of each feeding it individually, they're kind of like cascade feeding for this cute little baby. Yeah, and so you can just go ahead and watch this great little video.
It's still loading.
You don't really need the sound. And
what? Okay. There really is, like, this just feels like a weird way to involve your co-parent. Why do you have to puke it on the other one's head?
I mean, it's beautiful. As a family of 3 myself, I find this inspiring.
Kelly, next child we have, I'm going to lactate onto your head and the baby's going to try and slurp it off of you.
And it will cascade off of your titty.
Onto the back of the bird. Mouth. It's not even making it into the little bird's mouth. This looks like 2 animals who don't know how to do this. These are new parents.
It's hard, man. It's hard, okay?
I mean, the title is
on backwards for like a week.
2 adult flamingos trying to feed the same chick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of people, because it's bright red, a lot of people thought it was blood or that they were being like attacked or feeding their child blood. And it's not, because flamingos eat this like, krill and tiny thing rich diet that gives them the carotenoids that make them this pink color. It means that their crop milk is fucking blood red. It's just the beauty of nature. All things wise. Yes, endless forms most beautiful are being evolved. So they're right. So they eat a lot of algae and brine shrimp. That is why they have their beautiful pink colors. And so when they are doing their crop milk production, apparently they also lose some of their plumage color during this time. As they're like kind of giving it up to the baby, I guess.
It's like red dye number 40, deliberately feeding it to your child.
Yeah.
Imagine if your fake tanner like ran as you were lactating or something.
It's the same shit. Yeah, I was Googling it and I was like, oh, I've used that. Yeah, no, exactly. Like it really is like I mean, I was part raised on Kool-Aid. This is relatable.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a child making my own Kool-Aid. I was like, 3 cups of sugar and no water. And I was like, so, but as they go on, it gets less red, apparently, because I don't know why, but apparently it does. But yeah, it's all about what they're eating and whatnot. Yeah, with these carotenoids that create that. So what I found really interesting about this is a paper I read that was all about how important it is for a lot of flamingos are endangered, and it is important, I think all species actually, maybe not, that the people need to be able to know how to hand rear nestlings for when they're abandoned or orphaned in the wild. And so this entire paper was literally about a recipe for how to make flamingo crop milk. And I thought it was awesome. So I'm going to read you the formula for you right now. I don't know why I found this so amusing, but I was just like, this is like a recipe, but it's for
We're just really getting crazy as people with our ability to replicate milk. Like we are making new milks from nuts. We are just, the milk industry is bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, and I know the next time I get a coffee, I'm gonna be like, no, not oat milk. No, not almond milk. Not soy milk. Not regular milk. I would like flamingo milk, pigeon milk, maybe.
The next Starbucks idea.
Penguin? Yeah, flamingo milk.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a pink drink.
Just make it pink and taste like shrimp. And there you go.
So it's super easy to make your own. I was thinking for a bonus for Patreon, we could like make this, but it would require ordering some ingredients that I don't want to get. So it's some bacteria, mineral water, fish pellets, krill,
less and less easy.
Human baby organic rice flour, 1 medium-sized hard-boiled hen's egg yolk.
I'm sorry. Go back to the baby flower. What the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. 20 grams of human baby organic rice flour. I like to pause just for emphasis.
Okay, so the pause
human
is
baby
yours.
organic rice flour.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. That's because I'm a sicko. Yeah. So essentially rice flour, but they spell it all out. An egg yolk.
Okay.
Some large bird tablets, more bacteria, some calcium carbonate, and then you mix the rice flour, hard-boiled hen's egg yolk, calcium carbonate, vitamin tablet, and the water were mixed into a liquid form and put into a bowl. Then the fish fillets and the krill and the other bacteria were mixed in a separate bowl, filtered and strained to get rid of any coarse particles, and then mixed with everything together, and then stored in a fridge for up to 12 hours before being warmed to 39 degrees Celsius and fed to the chicks. That's fucking hot. That's hot for Celsius. So, that's how you can make your own flamingo milk.
Now, if we do,
and apparently it works.
Accept this as a challenge, do we have to taste it, or are we just making this?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
You know me. I hate seafood. I would be horrified. As soon as they got to like the fish fillets, I was like, I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm not here for this. So that's how you can. So it's not blood. They used to think it was actually blood, and then they like actually read about it. But what's funny is this article was from like the last 5 to 10 years or so, and they were like, but it's hard because there's no work being done on the chemical composition of flamingo milk. And I was like, well, I just read a paper from.
Are they just making it up?
Yeah, well, they were going based on a formula from the SeaWorld, California, and Fort Worth Zoo, Texas. I don't know if you want to take any advice from SeaWorld, California, though.
Yeah.
You know, like choices. Choices. But I found another paper from 2001 that literally went into the chemical composition of flamingo milk. So I was like, how was my literature review better than yours?
It just feels like
understand.
There must have been at SeaWorld a flamingo milk sommelier, right? Who's just trying to get the flavor profile down correctly because they don't know what's in it. Like, yeah, that's what that recipe sounds like. Is it sounds like me trying to replicate yum sauce, not necessarily chemically, but taste wise, and that's gross. That's a weird job.
Yeah. Oh, it's really hard with yum sauce. Fucking holding on to that recipe, those bastards. Bastards can never get it to not be gross and chunky, just like that pigeon milk.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Hey, yeah, actually,
okay.
That's a benefit of the flamingo milk is it does not appear to be chunky. Yes, it's red and it looks like blood, but doesn't look like cheese. So.
Yeah, and our last one is the emperor penguin, and I couldn't find any images of it anywhere because this only happens in like the dead of winter in Antarctica,
sad.
So no one is out there.
Bummer.
I bet it is the chunkiest. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. Okay, so they're super weird because it's only the males that can produce the crop milk.
Okay.
So can you guess why?
Okay, why could only the males produce crop milk? I mean, it's still produced in the crop. I don't know, maybe the females are off getting fish and so they're already busy.
Yeah. Exactly. So I have never really, I mean, I kind of cared because they're cool. They like to like mate with like or attract each other with rocks. I can relate to that. But so female fasts, I think like they do it penguin style.
I really hope that your microphone just captured that sound, but it will not capture your recreation of it. And I don't even know what to do. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
So penguins have sex. She ends up fasting for like 40, 50 days while she's gearing up to lay that egg. She loses a quarter of her body weight.
Okay.
So once she gets that kid out, man, so relatable. She's like, I'm out. And she goes to the open ocean to feed while Daddy Penguin incubates the egg for about 65 days. I read this really old article. It's probably out of date. But like while like she's waiting to pop out the egg, I guess they're like learning each other's calls and their vocal stuff because when they come back, there's like too many dudes. The article was like, well, there's no way they can tell the difference. They all look exactly the same. And I'm like, you're not a penguin. I don't know how you would know that. That seems so arbitrary. I don't. So the daddy penguin incubates the eggs for 65 days-ish. And over this period, the males will lose about 40% of their body weight.
Mm-hmm.
They start out at about like 34 to 40 kilograms. I did not put that into pounds, but it's a big fucking bird.
It's a big bird.
It's a big ass
God
bird.
damn.
And then the chicks hatch around mid-July, which is usually when the females come back and they like sing to each other to find them in the herd. But if the egg hatches before mom gets home, the male, even though he has been like totally fasting this whole time, sitting on this egg, will still be able to feed the baby crop milk. So that's why only the male is able to do it. Because when mom gets back, she pukes fish everywhere and everyone eats it together like a beautiful family of 3. I love it. It's so cute. So, but then the article also was like, but before you, like, this is my take, before you get carried away with how amazing the male is, if the male loses enough weight before the female returns, he just straight up abandons.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go eat some fish, motherfuckers. So they also produce this crop milk. So it seems like a lot of times that the crop milk is an adaptation to allow birds to survive and have babies in environments where there's food scarcity sometimes, or there's irregularity with like what food is available, lack of energy density to support the growth. So it does seem to be from these fairly extreme conditions that are able to do it. And it's not just about the nutrients, it's also building up the immune system for the babies.
That was actually going to be one of my questions, is that with mammals for the first, well, at least with sheep, it's the first 24 hours. They're not really producing milk. They're producing colostrum, which is milk, but it's also just antibodies.
It's goop.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's like yellow.
It is yellow. Yeah.
I mean, mine was straight yellow.
Yeah, yellow and significantly thicker. Yeah. So do birds that make crop milk make colostrum, or is this kind of like a colostrum milk mix?
I think the whole thing is essentially a colostrum milk mix. So it sounds like the flamingos are the only ones who do it for any long amounts of time. The pigeons and the penguins are both pretty short, like kind of just like stopgap measures to get to when mom comes home or when the baby is developed enough to be able to eat on its own. So I think it's pretty much jam-packed with all of that. But yes, in mammals, it's different. But also, I don't know if anyone has studied like the stages of what the crop milk, if it changes.
Who wants to milk a pigeon?
Apparently people who want to eat a shit ton of pigeons, apparently. So,
how do you even get the pigeon to, how do you milk a pigeon? Do you take a tongue depressor?
You just like work the throat like a...
She's giving her own neck a hand job right now. That's what she's doing.
Oh my God. It is. Yeah, but it does have definitely an immune system thing as well. And so also another cool point was they tend to have not like a small number of offspring in all of these cases too. And my first question when my friend told me about this and mentioned the different birds, I was like, well, wait, are any of those closely related? And no, they're not, right? Like this is not one lineage who has figured this out. These are very distantly related birds. Like they are nowhere near each other on the bird family tree. We've got 3 fucking weirdos up in here, and yet they've all evolved this independently. It seems to be a convergent kind of trait, which immediately then I was like, well, shit, that means dinosaurs had crop milk. Dinosaurs, birds are dinosaurs. If it evolved multiple times in modern birds that have only been around for I don't know how many millions years, not as long as dinosaurs were around. Yeah. There's got to be dinosaurs that have produced crop milk. Yeah. And to my not surprise, someone had published a paper on that. So I was a little annoyed because I wanted to be like, milk, dinosaurs. But dinosaur lactation ? Is paper, single author pub, which always makes me wary. It publishes in 2013, hypothesizing that yes, some dinosaurs, specifically herbivorous site nesting dinosaurs, would have had the ability to produce crop milk. So these would have been like ornithopod dinosaurs, probably hadrosaurs, like duck-billed dinosaurs. Excuse me. And because hadrosaur colonies regularly nested at the same sites, and a lot of these sites we do know, like I've been out to the Egg Mountain site in Montana where Maiasaura was doing the nesting thing. A lot of it doesn't have a ton of evidence of like a ton of vegetation or trees. They seem to be fairly exposed. They may have been exposed to pretty harsh environmental conditions. And again, like the birds, dinosaurs specifically, he really thinks it's like the hadrosaurs. But I really don't think that I've come to my own conclusions, and I'm a fucking expert, so step aside. I think that, like, I don't think it would have necessarily just been herbivorous dinosaurs because it's certainly not just herbivorous birds. So I don't entirely, the reason behind that is like, well, they're the ones that we have proof of the parental care, which I'm like, well, that's not even necessarily true. Like we have Oviraptor and stuff, which I think is more thought to be omnivorous. And I could see that Oviraptor. So part of it with flamingos, why they're doing this is their little bills are too soft to do all of the filter feeding that they need to do when they're little. And that's why the parents need to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, that could be applying to other dinosaurs as well. Like Oviraptor, you think that beak was like ready to go as soon as that baby was born? Maybe. But maybe they were using crop milk, especially in like the freaking Gobi Desert. You know, it's like fucking dunes of sand and windstorms all the time. And I'm also, I think that there could be a case to be made for things like the Arctic and Antarctic dinosaurs. May have been more likely to have dinosaur milk because they lived in this extreme, at least with light fluctuation, and again, probably food availability in their environment. So, especially if there's like any type of migration involved. So, I mean, I'm not out. Now, the question was, did dinosaurs have crops? And I haven't been able to figure out if we have any solid evidence of this or not. Certainly not in this paper. It seemed to just be kind of like just like amusing kind of thing. It says, and so 2013 that we didn't have fossil evidence of it. But his idea was that since there are crops in birds of all types of diets, it doesn't seem to be limited by diet. So that means that, at least in his opinion, all different types of dinosaurs may have had crops and may have been able to do this. So you can go ahead and scroll down to this horrifying image of someone's recreation of an ornithischian hatchling.
They've made the milk look wet and white, so significantly less gross than any of the other images you've shown me. Almost
really?
Cute.
To me, it really...
Not quite.
Are you serious? This one fucking grosses me out.
This one? Really?
I really don't like this one.
It's just a dinosaur with milk dripping out its mouth.
Sure, milk. Totally. That's what I thought.
Oh, you foul creature.
Yeah, foul. The whole thing is on fucking birds, Megan. Yeah, I was just like, this is gross. I was like, this is inappropriate. Yeah, but it's a cute little hatchling dripping milk. Definitely milk from its mouth. It's definitely milk. It's definitely milk. So yeah, there is some, it's been published on, I didn't make this up. Yeah. And there's some thoughts that dinosaurs were able to do this. And then my last little point was, as I was looking up, okay, well, are there any dinosaurs that were in a flamingo-like niche? Okay. And not dinosaurs, but there is a pterosaur, Pterodostro. Oh. That was a filter feeding pterosaur that is interpreted to live in the exact same niche as flamingos. It's from South America, from the early Cretaceous. It had about 1,000 bristle-like modified teeth in its lower jaws that have been hypothesized to be used to strain crustaceans, plankton, algae, and other small creatures from the water. And of course, our favorite, Bob Bacher, was like, well, then they were fucking pink. Then these pterosaurs were pink. And so
I do like that. Yep.
Yes. And so when I was like, okay, we talked about this before, but I'm just like, okay, everyone who's like, no, we don't know what color extinct animals are. I'm like, some were pink because they ate shit that made them pink. So we may not know anything else, but they were pink. But of course, the Reddit take on this, I was so annoyed, but also laughing. The post I found was called Satan's Flamingo. And I was like, what? Like, again, these fucking They have to make it like red, like the devil. And I'm like, no, it was pink. Stop trying to make it cool. Stop trying to make it like violent.
Don't make it masculine.
Stop trying to make it scary. It's right. It's pink. Get over it. Get over it. It was fucking pink. You can't. So you can go ahead and scroll down and see that these images, the paleo as well as the skull, which made me then immediately go, well, if they were doing the same feeding strategy, maybe they also had crop milk. Maybe pterosaurs also had crop milk. Look at that beautiful throat. They could have fit a lot of crop in there.
That is quite an insane bill. So I would imagine that it would take some time to develop. I wonder if we have any idea what their babies look like. Do we have?
I don't think so, because all pterosaur material is so scant.
Yeah.
They do not fossilize well.
Yeah.
Those little hollow bone motherfuckers. So yeah, I don't think there's that much known. This is a reconstructed skull too. I don't even think the fossil looks that nice. So it's very limited. But pterosaurs may have been pink. They may have lactated. Dinosaurs may have lactated. And birds definitely did. It evolved many, many times. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
The future of bird milk.
It just makes me feel even more like I don't even really like dinosaurs. And now I'm like, oh, we both lactate. Oh, like that's what I need. That's what I need. Thank you for listening. If you liked the podcast, be sure to rate and review us on your listening platform of choice. We really, really, really appreciate it.
If you'd like to hear more and support the show, you can follow us on Patreon for some exclusive bits or on our various social media platforms. You can follow Amy on Instagram at Mary Anning's Revenge.
And Megan on Instagram and TikTok as GeoPedalFabric, or both of us at Weird and Dead on Instagram and TikTok. Our theme song is Unlock Me by Praz Canal. Cover art was provided by Chris Spencer and the hosts.
And this has been hosted and researched by us, Amy Atwater and Megan Weatherall. Thank you for listening.
No, crop. Hold on a second, I gotta milk it.
Every time you do something like this, I'm like, oh, well, there's the clip we'll put at the end of the episode. But you've done like 10 of them now, so I don't know what we're going to do.